Hi everybody, it's Jen with Caketastic Cakes, and I'm going to be showing you how I made this soccer themed cake today. If you see me use any tools or supplies that you could use, check the link in the description below. It has a link to my Amazon shop and it'll help you out and it'll help me out too. So anyway, alright, so I've got a 6-inch cake here that I have 3 cakes, so 6 layers basically. And I'm just coating it all in green buttercream icing. And if you feel like this, cake design is not for you, it turns out I have several other soccer ball or soccer themed cakes in my history that you could find and check those out too, because I've got a repeat customer whose kid is still in love with soccer. So anyway, okay, I've got my cake, I've got it iced out. I went ahead and put a border of green stars using a French tip star, or French star tip, excuse me, around the top. I'm going to put one on the bottom too, just not yet. I have some green sprinkles that I'm putting on the top, very small little round green beads, and I'm going to throw some black and white ones in there too. And this way you don't have to worry about decorating the top. It looks nice. It can handle candles, whatever. All right, I found a printout of a silhouette of a soccer player right there. If you want to use that image, you could take a screenshot of it and print it for yourself. Uh, I cut it out and I'm going to use that as my little soccer dude template. So I rolled out some black gum paste. You could use fondant for this, or excuse me, fondant if you want to say it Americanized. Um, it might be a little soft and stretchy, so, just consider it, okay? So I rolled it out really thin and I cut it out. I do have to make some tweaks and everything because he is kind of small. This guy was only maybe 2 inches tall, so he's not real big. And I just used one of my circle cutters to make a small circle that I felt like was the right size. I think it might have been a little bigger than the actual template, but who cares? All right, as far as my goalie, I just made a guy jumping with his arms up and his legs out. I tried to make him about the same size as the other person, but I freestyled that one, okay? So I don't have a template for you to follow on that one. I just winged it. All right, this is white gum paste I used, and I'm going to be making the goal for this. So I'm just going to cut out kind of like a sloped rectangle, an angled rectangle. And then I'm going to cut out the inside so that it's got 3 edges, as you can see. Try to make them straight, do the best you can. But when you pull it out, you see, okay, yeah, that's the outline of my goal. So yes, I'm going to put that on my cake. I'm painting a little bit of water on the back of it in order to make it stick to the icing. And then, of course, try to make it nice and straight because it, as you can see, did go a little baggy and saggy on me. But I did straighten it out to try to make it look nicer. And then I'm going to take the same white that I was using, roll it super, super thin, and cut out some very long, thin strips. And I cut out a whole bunch of these. And the idea with this was going to be to try to make the netting that goes inside the goal. It is not my best work, I will admit. The idea is sound. I think the execution is what is lacking a little bit, but again, it works. You can definitely feel what the intention is here. You don't look at it and think, oh, she made a dump truck. No, it's still a goalpost or goal, and it's net. So, maybe you can find a template to follow that might work a little bit better than this, but this is what I did, and I show it because it's what I did. All right, so I'm happy enough with it. I've got my goalie. I put a little bit of water on the back of him. I have him leaping magnificently and majestically out of the goal to block the incoming kick. A little bit of water on the back of my kicker to make him coming up on the goal. There's the ball ready to go. Goalie's going to eat it or he's going to miss. I'm not sure. But anyway, here is where I was saying before. Now is when I went ahead to pipe the border around the bottom. There's my doggy. They always lurk around me when I make cakes. So now I've got my border on the bottom. I got my border on the top. I got my goal. I've got my goalie. I've got my kicker. I've got the ball. Now it's time to fill in all that blank area. And you could keep on going. You could make more people if you wanted to and more teammates and have different little scenes of fighting over a ball or whatever. I'm going to go ahead and fill it in with these shapes. I've got, this is a cutter set that I got from a Tico, and they have a whole bunch of different sizes and shapes. So it's a really versatile kit. And so I'm taking the soccer ball shape, the pattern that you see on soccer balls, printing out a bunch of white and black shapes using two different sizes. There is a third size that's larger, but I felt like it was too big. And now I'm using a little bit of water, as you saw me, brush it on the back, and I'm just going to stick them on. And any of those rough spots, like you can very clearly see in my icing, because if you know any of my other videos, I am not the best at making smooth icing. You cover them. Cover them up with a decoration. That's what I always say. If you don't like what you made, you got a mistake somewhere, cover it with a decoration. So this cake is getting covered up. I've got the big patterns as you see, I got the small ones. I'm just kind of making almost like a honeycomb pattern here and there. It just gives a little more decoration, makes it a little more interesting to look at. It's not overwhelming the cake with fondant or gum paste or anything like that, so it still is going to be a nice cake. It's fun, it's festive, it's soccery AF. That means as football, by the way, for you European viewers. Anyway, I hope you found this video helpful. Please like and subscribe because it helps me out as well. I've got a lot of other videos out there, so be sure to take a look. As I said, a lot of other soccer cakes as well. And as always, thanks for watching Caketastic Cakes.